runners, I'm back from our run. I hope you had a good run too. I hope you had some good weather wherever you are. So I'm going to take you through a quick flexibility sequence now that your run is over. We're going to work on opening up the hips, quads, hamstrings, calves, that kind of stuff. Okay? That was a butterfly that just flew in front of the camera. Okay, so we're going to start in a downward dog by curling the toes. And actually, you know what? You can take off your sneakers. It's even better. Let your feet breathe a little bit too. So join with me. Let's take a second. We're just going to do some stretches for like 5-6 minutes or so. Okay? Strong foundation with your hands. Shift forward, curl your toes, and come back to downward dog. You really want to work your heels down to the mat so you really open up the calves as you drop your heels down. And let's hold more static stretches now. So dropping the heels down. Try to breathe in and out through your nose as you sink the heels and push through the palms. So we're going to shift forward to a plank pose, and we're going to work opposing muscle groups here, quadriceps and hamstrings, to open them up. So you're going to bend down, or bend the elbows and lower down. And let's just bring the left forearm out in front, which is either one, and grab the instep, if you can, of the back foot. Make sure that back foot, back knee is in line with the hip. And this is half bow pose. So if you can't quite get here, what you can do is grab the outside of the foot and just release the forehead down onto the hand or the forearm out in front. So either here or up, pressing down through the front with the forearm and kicking the back top of the foot into the hand a little bit to open up the front of the hip flexor into the quadricep, the front side of that back leg. Okay? It's good to hold stretches now for at least 5 to 8 breath cycles. In and out through the nose with your breathing the best you can. Okay, so let's take one more breath. A little bit of the chest opener and the back bend too. And release that down. You're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under, push back to downward dog. And if you can, just take that leg and lift it up. And then step through with that same leg that you just stretched. We're going to get back side of that same leg for your hamstring. So the back knee is going to release down. And then we're going to come into a runner's stretch. So you're going to shift the weight back. You're going to slide this front heel out and away from you just to whatever degree feels good. Strong fingertips or flat palms. Okay? Pull your chest a little forward, slide your shoulders back. And then as you can, keeping your spine extended or long. So what you want to think about is pulling the hips back and lengthening the tailbone back as you kind of pull the chest forward. You'll soften the elbows and kind of fold forward into your runner stretch. Stretching the back side of that front leg, hamstring. You're going to bend that front knee, scooch that foot back in a little bit. Curl the back toes under, so what you want is your knee right out over your ankle. This leg's going to go back up from where it came, so straight back up to the sky, pushing through the palms. And then on that same leg, you're going to step through to pigeon pose, which is a hip opener. Okay, back knee is down, knee is opened out to the side. The more that you scooch this front shin forward, the more you'll feel it in the hips. So my hips are pretty tight from all that running and cycling. So work with whatever feels good for you. You don't want to feel it in the knee. All right, so from here you can come down if you want to your forearms, or you can release all the way down, which feels really good, to drop your forehead down to your hands. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to show you an option that if you want to, if you're a little bit more flexible, an option as well is to pick up the back knee to open out and around, and then you get a little bit more of this hip flexor and quad on the back leg, only if it's comfortable. Okay, so one of those two options, and then we'll get the whole sequence on the other side. So we're hitting hips, hamstrings, quadriceps. Release that back foot if you have it up. Let's take the time to put the hands right underneath the shoulders, curl the back toes under, and press back to downward dog. Sinking the heels down, pressing through the palms, we'll come forward to a plank. So this just looks like the top of the push-up. And then we'll bend down, and we're going to get that whole sequence on the other side. So starting in your half bow, again, two options. So you're either down here. You can also, if you can't reach your foot, you can take a towel or a yoga strap or something like that to wrap it around your foot. If you have a little hard time reaching. Okay, so the half bow variation is lifting up through the chest and pressing down with the forearm. So you get that little bit of a back bend, and then what you do is you take a little pressure from the top of your back foot and kick it out into your hand. Okay, and as you do that, you'll feel this stretch intensify a little bit. At least I do. Okay, so hold that for a few breaths. 3, release out of it. We're going to get runner stretch on this side. So you're going to curl the toes under, hands under the shoulders, through a push-up, into a downward dog. Take that leg up. And then step through. People are riding by, running by, wondering what the heck I'm doing. All right, so from here we're going to come into runner stretch. You're going to shift your weight back. There's lots of fishermen here on the trail here today too, so to create a yoga for fishermen, they would like that. Okay, here in your runner stretch, the goal is to stretch the back of this front hamstring. So the more that you slide the foot away, the more you're going to feel it. You can kind of come into a split for those of you who are more flexible. Again, work your fingertips if your fingertips are up. Okay, they're important too. Or flat palms if you can reach comfortably. Breathing is in and out through the nose, calm and comfortable. And then each time you exhale, if you can soften the elbows and bring the nose just a little bit towards the knee. It's not necessarily a goal to get it there, but if it goes there, great. Shift your weight forward. Scooch this back foot in if you walked it out. Back toes are under. This front leg is going to go back up from where it came, so go straight up to the sky if you can, pushing through the palms. You can bend and open up that knee a little bit too. And then step it through to your pigeon, which pigeon poses are always hip openers. The back leg is going to slide back away from you a little bit. And then again, you can rock this front shin a little bit more forward if you want a deeper, more intense stretch. What you want to avoid is being here. You don't want to sit over to the hip. You want the hip bones parallel, like straight forward. All right, so your options are here, here, or if you want to do that king pigeon, you can take the back foot and reach it up and work that back bend too. It's a little bit more into the hip flexor and quad on that back leg. Feels really good. Okay, so just taking a good 5-8 minutes after your runs, really important to keep your flexibility as well as work on your strength and your endurance. You can repeat the sequence like 2 to 3 times if you want to. Each time you repeat it, you might get a little bit more out of it. Okay, hands come flat, shoulder width distance apart. Curl the back toes under and step back to downward dog. And then you can release the knees and come around. And one other good stretch to do is for inner thighs and hips. So you can bring the bottoms of the feet together to touch. Bring the elbows together. Here comes one of those fishermen. And then bend the elbows and come out into butterfly. And then just go ahead and release from that. And we're done. So see, it doesn't have to take 45 minutes to an hour. You can do shorter segments. It's more about doing it more frequently, making it part of every run that you do, rather than just doing an hour here and there, you know, kind of cramming it all in at one time. Frequency is more important. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.